Ugh. What's up, everyone? It's me, Matt from Daze, coming at you with another album review, but this one's more of an EP than an album. And that is from the band, I think I'm saying this right, View From The Soyuz. Yeah, with their album, EP, Immaculate. Now you might have never heard of this band because they are one from Japan. Yeah, and they're a relatively new band. I think they've been around for a couple years, maybe around 2020, 2019, right before the pandemic and everything. They are a metalcore like style band. If you like that early, like At the Gates, early Kill Switch Engage, early 2000s metalcore sound, this might be a band for you and everything. And so they just recently played Blood Axe Fest for the first time, I think, here in Japan. It's a big hardcore metal festival. Got to check them out, and they played with like Never Ending Game a few months ago, back in July. So that was cool to check out. So with that being said, let's dive into this EP and dissect it a little bit. Chronostasis. It's an instrumental intro song that starts off really slow, but then it really kicks in with some punchy drums. The guitars sound very metallic and very sharp, heavy and groovy as well. The guitar playing is really tight on this intro, surprisingly. And I would say there's like a pretty slick transition into like a cool two-step in this song. It's a nice way of introducing themselves to you if you've never listened to them before. It's an all right intro.
Even when you're gone, I'll tell them my religion's you went on.
Very metalcore opening sound, especially with the pummeling of the drums, and also the guitars chugging away, sounding very heavy, sounding really good. However, the vocalist, he sounds good, but he's really turned down in the mix. Like, you really have to listen to hear him because it's hard to hear him. The instruments all sound really good, but as the song goes along, the vocals just sound really buried. Very epic sounding guitars. They're very fun to listen to. But the backing vocals surprisingly pretty nice, and you can hear them pretty good and everything. Towards the end of the song, there's a nice, well, not nice breakdown, but kind of like a breakdown. But overall, the guitars and the technical playing here is what really shines through on this track, which makes me want to play a small clip for you. Yeah, Caligula. I think I said that name really wrong. When My World Collapsed. It has a very slow and heavy start that goes into some nice riffing from the guitars and everything. Again, the guitars are really solid on this EP. Vocals, though, they do sound a little bit better than the previous song. You can hear them a little bit more. And the style of his vocal screams and everything match really well with this style of metalcore. Midway through the song, they switch it up into like a slower tempo, and then they like pick it right back up. So it goes back and forth between like a fast and slow song. And towards the back end of the song, you can really hear the bass, which is pretty cool. And then the breakdown at this in this song, again, not very impressive. Sky Burial. I've noticed that this EP and this band, the guitars are like the #1 thing. They put them at the forefront of the band because they really are good here. Lots of interesting playing from the guitars on this track. The drums, they may be really tight, but they kind of sound boring. They're not really interesting here. Overall, the song does have a bit of like an epic feel to it. But there's one thing that was really jarring for me. There was this really awkward transition around like the 3 minute and 10 mark. It just was really weird. And then there's like a perfect moment for a breakdown, but they don't really do it. They just keep playing. And as the song goes along, they like bring in like they build you up for another breakdown and everything. And it's kind of like a whatever breakdown. It's just not the best. And yeah, overall, it's a bit of a messy song. Most of the time, the guitars are pretty good, but towards the end, they kind of get a little wonky. But here's a little clip of Sky Burial. Yes. Sky Burial. Frozen Black. Pretty standard metalcore opening with this song. And I've noticed like by the end of this EP, I'm a little bit tired and winded with like how their songs sound. They all kind of sound a bit similar, especially with the percussions. The riffs can be different here and there, but on this song they do sound pretty repetitive and redundant of like older songs. I guess derivative, I guess. But towards the middle of the song, they switch it up and add to like a piano keystroke section that changes things up nicely. It's kind of got like a super metal like ballad section to it and whatnot. But overall, I don't think it does enough to save the song. Even though there is a nice two-step towards the end of the song, and then like they got some like dueling battle guitars, it's still just a pretty like not lackluster song, but just kind of like all right song. Yeah, so that was my thoughts on this EP, Immaculate from Views from the Soyuz. Overall, like the positives on this album, I feel like are the guitars and the production. The production, besides the vocals, sound pretty clear and crisp. Vocals a little drowned out a lot of the time, so that could be better. But everything else is pretty good. The guitars, they sound tight. They sound really good and everything. Super solid riffs and whatnot. I will say that a lot of the album seems a bit like dull and boring. Like there's not much going on in like the bass or the drum department and stuff. The vocalist sounds all right. Overall, it just sounds very similar with each song. So there wasn't too much impressiveness. Like it's heavy for sure, but not too wowing or anything. Everything sounded, especially the breakdowns. The breakdowns sounded very identical, and it made me feel like maybe they didn't want to take a chance of branching out in different styles. They really wanted to do that metalcore style, which, you know, sounds really good on the guitars and everything, but everything else is kind of like feeling like it's falling a little flat. But then again, it's just an EP. They can still work out and stuff in the future. But I think that this EP from View from the Soyuz is a solid to light 6 out of 10. I'm hoping that in the future that they'll take some more chances with their music, because that's the one thing I noticed is just was a lot of similar stuff. So I would like to see some more experimentation from them, maybe. But yeah, links down below. Check them out. Check out some Japanese bands while you're at it. There's some cool bands out here. These guys are one of them. There's some other cool bands. Hopefully I'll get them out soon on my reviews. But yeah, thanks for stopping on by, and I will see you later. Bye.